Good morning and welcome to the Media Speaks Live Saturday morning news show. I'm D. Lake for Prez, David Lake. I'm joined this morning by Sam I.B. DeGangi, Sam of The Correct Views, and the band Passing Time, Samuel.
Greetings, unsettled souls. Welcome to the Saturday edition.
Awesome. I know everyone's excited to be here today. And this morning we're going to get started talking about Donald Trump. Now, the past couple of weeks, I've kind of not been talking about the Donald, even though that I am supporting him at this time in the race. I find it fascinating that he joined the race. I remember back in 2012 when he was talking about joining, he put out several videos, just Donald from his office talking about certain things he'd like to see done in the country. I felt like I agreed with a lot of those things. He ended up not running at that time, but this year he is running. Now, as soon as he got into the race, a lot of people said, "Oh, here comes the clown car," and a lot of people were dissing him and disrespecting him. In his announcement speech, he was sort of speaking, rambling, sort of off the cuff, sort of off of his speech. He didn't really get tight with his prepared statements until closer to the end of his announcement. Near the beginning, he was talking about illegal immigration. Okay, people, try to get that through your thick fucking skulls and use the thinking part of your brain, like Sam would say. He was talking about illegal immigration. He was talking about people that cross the border illegally. So boom, that's their first crime right there. Some of them are good people. He assumes some of them are, but some of them are rapists, murderers, drug dealers, and criminal elements that seek sanctuary cities. That's in the news a lot this week, considering last weekend that lady was murdered in San Francisco by a guy that had already been deported 5 times. Anyways, Donald Trump's message is resonating with a lot of people, especially where he's headed next in Arizona. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump, whose caustic comments about Mexican Americans, it was about Mexican Americans. Was it about Mexican Americans? It was about illegal aliens and the Mexican government sending their unwanteds to us, encouraging them to go to America instead of locking them up in their prisons there. They have inflamed the debate over illegal immigration. He's taking his tough talk roadshow to the border state that has been the epicenter of the divisive national battle over reform. In remarks at the downtown Phoenix Convention Center, Trump plans to renew his vow to build an impenetrable wall across the United States-Mexico border and to attack by name several Republican presidential candidates as weak on immigration, according to people with knowledge of Trump's plans. My page is freezing up a little bit here, Sam, but can we hear from you on some of the stuff that I've already just been saying?
I absolutely, let me get my screen back on here. I absolutely agree with him on immigration. I, however, am not supporting Trump. He lost me when he was entertaining ideas of Oprah Winfrey as a running mate, who has to be one of the most race-baiting, antagonistic, leftist hags in the country. Absolutely would not want him anywhere near the White House. I wouldn't even want him there as a tourist. But I do agree with him on immigration, and I like that he had said nobody builds a wall like I do. It's time to build the wall. It's time to end the illegal immigration, because the illegal immigration is ending us. It's destroying us in a number of ways, and we simply are not getting the best and brightest to cross through the fence. Now, I am in favor of making it easier to get into the country. I'm in favor of all of that. I'm just not in favor of opening the borders to anybody that wants to walk in whatsoever. I don't think it needs to be something that you purchase like you do now. You purchase your way into the country. I'm not in favor of that. But yeah, I don't support Trump at all. I would be a nightmare for the country, I think. I just don't like him.
All right, well, we disagree on that. I mean, at least you're not like my friend who the only reason that she doesn't want Trump in office is because of his hair. Okay.
Oh my God.
But I mean, I think it's a little early for you to write him off because of potential Oprah Winfrey vice presidency. I don't really see that happening. And
he's got an arrogancy and a pompousness to. I don't like
it. I like it. But anyways, in his speech, Trump plans to single out several campaign opponents by name. People familiar with Trump's prepared remarks said he intends to go after former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, for having said many immigrants come to the United States out of an act of love.
He'll be better than Bush.
Yeah. He's also going to cast Senator Marco Rubio as a typical politician for once trying to achieve comprehensive immigration reform, a priority of President Obama's, and to accuse former Texas Governor Rick Perry of being weak and unable to secure his state's border with Mexico. And he also said this week that he was disappointed in Hillary Clinton for her email scandals, and Hillary had her first sit-down interview on CNN this week. Did you see any of that, Sam? Hillary Clinton's interview with CNN? And she says that people trust her, and you should just trust her, Sam. Do you trust her?
I've read about it. What's funny is I couldn't find a single person that did trust her. Not one.
Right. Well, what I found in just jumping off to the Hillary Clinton trustworthiness and honesty factor, and
it doesn't even roll off the tongue, does it?
Trust in Hillary? No, it's hard to say. And her numbers in that regard have been plummeting severely. I found this awesome comment from when I clicked into something about Hillary on Facebook about she was saying that Americans trust her and she has trust in the American voter and blah, blah, blah. And Mark Lute, I believe that might be how you say that, says, things I trust more than Hillary Clinton. Sam, are you ready for things I trust more than Hillary Clinton?
I've never been more ready for anything at all. This should be a very long list.
Mexican tap water, our border security, an alligator with a hug me sign, O.J. Simpson showing me his glove and knife collection, an elevator ride with Ray Rice, a drink offered by Bill Cosby, that Subway guy Jared, Michael Jackson's doctor, an Obama nuclear deal with Iran, a Palestinian with a backpack on a speeding motorcycle, Sam, gas station sushi.
That is awesome. That's the best list I've ever heard.
Jimmy Carter's views on world events, Brian Williams' news reports, undisputed Bigfoot sightings, Al Sharpton's opinions on race relations in the U.S., Al Gore's take on weather conditions, again, things that I trust more than Hillary Clinton. Michael Moore showing restraint at an all-you-can-eat buffet, Islamic co-pilots, Nigerian lotto emails, Chinese building codes, MSNBC news anchors, Chicago governors, and, of course, Bill Clinton.
That there is probably the funniest list I have ever heard. And
I know.
It's all true.
It was so awesome I had to repost it. Yeah, I would think I trust all those things more than Hillary Clinton. I mean, we could probably just keep the list going and going and going. To go back to Trump, his persona is a mix of Ross Perot and Ronald Reagan, Nunberg said in an interview Friday. A successful businessman disliked by the elites, a natural communicator, and someone who speaks for and is part of the conservative base. I mean, I see all these reports calling him a pseudo-Republican and not real, and they keep asking him about a third-party run, which at this time, they say he's kind of left the door open a crack just in case. But basically, what we talked about last week about next month is the first Republican debate, and there will only be the top 10 polling Republicans on that stage. And at this time, Trump is polling like number one nationally in a new poll, and number two in like Iowa and New Hampshire.
Rand is 4, is he not?
Rand is coming in around third, fourth place. I think one place he might have been tied for second, but Rand's still in it. Rand's going to be on the stage. Trump's going to be on the stage. Bush is going to be on the stage. I believe. I don't know if I said Walker will be on the stage last week, but I think Scott Walker will be on the stage. But that's going to push other people like Ben Carson, Carly Fiorina, Huckabee, Santorum.
Huckabee doing badly?
Yeah, Koch or whatever, or Kitch, whatever. Those are the guys that are going to have trouble getting on that 10-person stage. But so it's still early. It's still super, super early. But just for now, let me say I think Trump will be on the stage next month, and that could just be a game changer, up or down. So I'm saying I'd like to see him do good. If he comes off terrible and makes me look like an idiot for thinking that he has a shot, well, then so be it. I don't have any money on it yet, so.
I know. I hope Rand gets some questions and they don't just completely ignore him, such as they were doing with Ron.
Well, that's another thing that I'd like to point out too is obviously in 2008 I was and 2012 even Ron Paul was my candidate, and I guess I'm picking Trump as my horse this time around. So I guess I'm glad to see that he's not getting that total exclusion that Ron Paul was getting. That was so frustrating back then. I mean, Sam, I know you remember that. The way the news media blacked him out. They don't even mention him in like the.
He never got questions. He was.
Yeah.
When he did, it was always some condescending question, and it was the obvious bias against him was so clear that I don't see how anybody with a sane mind could deny it.
Well, there's already a sort of a, and again, it still is really early, but like I saw a report on Fox News, they're already excluding Rand Paul. Like they don't even mention his name. They don't put his name up in the lower third graphics or whatever graphics they're showing. Like they act like he doesn't even exist. So I mean, it's just frustrating because when that was happening to Ron Paul, when he was making all the best points and saying all the best stuff, it was just so maddening.
Had the biggest crowds, the most followers, yeah. And again, this was the mindset that pushed Gary Johnson fully into the Libertarian Party. I
know. I wish Ron would have just did that. Don't you think?
Well, he did that in I want to say the late '80s or early '90s.
Well, I think he just started out running Republican. It wasn't like he switched. Or, I mean, Libertarian. Excuse me. Back in the 80s, he ran Libertarian, right?
Yeah, and I think it would have been a big help to the Johnson campaign, even though I must say I liked Jim Gray more than I liked Gary Johnson. Even though I happily voted for Johnson, I think that Jim Gray was probably one of the best names in the American field to be president. And, again, no one has any idea who he is.
Pardon me. Sam, you're aware that in the next coming months, Jade Helm is starting in Texas and other various southwestern states.
Yeah,
Operation Jade Helm. We've talked about it before.
Well, I think the most important thing at this point we can do with Jade Helm is take a common sense approach to it. Because I mentioned this on one of the videos. I know it for sure, friends. It's on Media Speaks. We need to look at it reasonably. We need to have a ready military force. We need our military force to be able to acclimate to any given situation at any given time. You don't want to find out that, somebody, God forbid, I don't even want to say it because then it'll happen. God forbid some idiot would set off, say, a nuclear device in the major city of an ally. And obviously, we have business people there. We have Americans there. They're an ally. We do business there. And we need the military in there to get people out or, wherever, obviously, a situation like that would lead to. We need to be able to do that. That means to be knowing how to train in a city. However, we know what this government does. We know what our government's been doing for a very long time. If we allow ourselves to give the government free rein just to mow over us, they might be practicing to do it to us. They've already said they have a problem with libertarians returning veterans and the like. So it concerns me. It concerns me a lot. I want a ready army, but I don't trust my government. They're not going to be allowed to be filmed. I understand that. You can't.
Yeah, press is already being like banned and barred from access to the special operations.
And you can't have the military showing your tactics to the whole world, to the enemy, potential enemies. I get it, but there needs to be at least I'm very happy about the noise that's coming out of Jade Helm, because it's making people look at the things that the government could use this for that are nefarious, that are against us. That's mostly my take on it.
Right, and I know some people that are reservists and contractors that are headed that way towards Texas on undisclosed type missions. The U.S. military will bring over 1,000 troops as well as aircraft and heavy vehicles to Texas and 6 other southwestern states for Operation Jade Helm, an unprecedented special operations training exercise. A civilian group has organized to monitor the training, including companies in Texas that plan to post up at each drill site in the Lone Star State. So Texans organize a God, these pages are so skippy. But they organize a Operation Counter Jade Helm to keep an eye on the federal troops. Do you think that's a good idea, Sam?
As long as there's some oversight, I think, with people who are responsible with the oversight. Who'd you say it was? Who'd you say is watching over it again?
I'm sorry, Sam. What?
Who did you say is oversighting it?
Damn it, Sam. This stupid ad started playing in my ear and I didn't hear a word you said.
Oh, I love when that happens. Nothing like live TV. Who's oversighting it? Who's watching over it?
A community in Texas community is organizing their own Operation Counter Jade Helm just to keep an eye on things.
And that's wonderful. Again, I don't think their tactics need to be given to the enemy or something. I have to side with the Army there. But if that doesn't happen, yes, I'm in favor of it in every possible way.
All right. Well, I'm sure we had more on that, and I'm sure there will be more to come. Operation Jade Helm news to come. My internet is just being like a little bitch. But I have another article here.
If you want, I can go to the science news, log out, and come back in if you wish.
Sure. Before we get to science news, Sam, let me bring up this one that I have open. Walmart to melt class rings bearing Confederate flag rather than complete orders. An Arkansas woman who went to pick up the class ring she ordered from Walmart left disappointed after store officials told her the retailer's new policy barred them from turning the item over because it bore the image of the Confederate flag. This week, South Carolina, I believe it was, took down the Confederate flag. And Sam, is the world a better place now? Is everything okay now? The flag has been taken down, and Walmart won't sell class rings that people already purchased. They're going to melt them. I mean, what are your thoughts?
This is the most insane, stupid idea ever. This is not the same as saying, oh, we should hang a Nazi flag in the... That's not what this is saying. The Confederacy stood for a lot of things that I think all races, all colors are in favor of. Things like the state's right to secede if the government becomes too authoritative, if it becomes abusive. Do you understand that people, the Confederacy, was what supported the right of secession? Now, I'm not in favor of slavery in any way, shape, matter, or form, but I could be in favor of secession, depending on what it is. For that matter, they were in favor of breaking up states to make other states. D-Lake, you live in California. I'm sure you know this well. They want to make a Jefferson state. Northern California does not wish to infringe upon the rights of Southern California. They want to allow them to vote for Jerry Brown for the next 30 years, just like he has been for the last 30 years. But they want their own state. They are tired of it, and they want to leave. That's another side of secession. It doesn't necessarily involve leaving the country, but it was the Confederacy that was very good at articulating these rights to people. And now guess what? You're losing that whole bit of the heritage, all because some people did some crappy things. Well, you know what? We have leaders now. I support Rand Paul, for instance. Rand Paul wants to get rid of the Confederate flag. I don't support Rand Paul because he wants to get rid of the Confederate flag. I support Rand Paul for the other things that we agree on.
Mhm.
People that fly the Confederate flag are
I
not
thought. I
saying
thought.
I'm in
I'm
favor
sorry.
of I'm sorry, no, it's fine. They're not saying I'm in favor of slavery. What they're saying is I'm in favor of some of the things that the South stood for because they were very rooted in freedom, and we are losing those today.
Well, I mean, I thought that Rand Paul at least said, it's people's First Amendment rights to fly that if they want. But in other related flag news, urgent man charged with hate crime faces 5 years. Thank you, ad, for continuing to play. I'm going to get charged with a hate crime against the internet if they keep playing these stupid ads.
Well, you know what I do? Go ahead and tell all our listeners who it is so that they can listen to you, but be wise enough not to go there.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Stupid ass. Whatever that Walmart article was, I just closed the page. Man charged with hate crime, Sam, faces 5 years in prison for burning flag. Guess which flag it was?
Oh, probably the American flag.
No, wrong again, Sam. We can stomp all over that. A man in Ohio. Oh, Ohio, Sam.
Lovely.
Let me go to my screen share so we can get a look at this crazy hate crime felon. A man in Ohio has been arrested for what they are calling a hate crime for burning a flag. It's about time these people get in trouble for burning the U.S. flag. But wait, it wasn't a U.S. flag. It was a gay pride flag. The rainbow flag? Sam, is the rainbow flag an official flag? That's not official.
They have hijacked the Christian rainbow, which I think is even more ironic.
That's right, folks. And on top of that, the dude is white. Double whammy there. Unbelievable. So we have blacks, Mexicans, Muslims, and liberal whites burning and stomping on our country's flag, and it's not a problem. But if you burn a gay pride flag, it's a freaking hate crime. Oh, question? But if it's a hate crime? What about the hate crimes committed against whites in the so-called knockout game where blacks target whites and savagely assault and beat the hell out of them? Okay, this person's writing style is kind of irritating. But anyways, the man's name is Cameron Mayfield. He's 23 years old, and he's been charged with third-degree arson after police arrested him for burning a gay pride flag. My client is going to apologize for what he did, Mayfield's defense attorney, James Martin Davis, said. Davis said in court the charge trivializes what true hate crimes are. Would you agree with that, Sam?
I'd agree with it in total. Absolutely in total. I remember in the 90s there was a place called B.B. McLean's. I have many gay friends to this day from that club. Everybody partied together, and nobody really cared about what anybody else did. Suddenly today, there's this huge division where there wasn't 20 years ago. So don't tell me that liberalism brings, or 25 years ago, liberalism does not bring unity among different people at all.
No, it creates division. Anyways, the young man's uncle is gay. He doesn't have any animosity, the lawyer said. He's just some kid that got drunk, and it was a prank. Now, all of a sudden, they're taking this to say that he's he's a hater. It's a hate crime. But hate crime. I mean, when Dylan Roof stormed into the church and straight out murdered 9 individuals at the black church, that is a hate crime. Burning a gay flag does trivialize what true hate crimes are.
Well, what they want to do is they want to blur the lines the same way terrorist used to mean somebody who wants to blow up buildings and was an extremist to Uncle Phil in the blank coming back from Iraq.
Oh, excellent point, Sam. Great point you just made right there. Can you reiterate that one more time for listeners, Sam?
Yeah, listeners, look this up. It used to be the definition of a terrorist was someone from an extreme ideology that wanted to come to your home, land, and blow something up. Now, a terrorist is somebody who burns a terrorist is your uncle returning from the war, who's never bothered anybody. It's your average libertarian. It's somebody that thinks outside the box. who has no intent to bring terror to anyone. You've blurred that line, now you're doing it here. And soon the hate crime and terror, for that matter, now that I'm actually thinking it through, is probably going to blur. This man could be a terrorist in 10 years from now. That's the direction they want to take us, and they want to blur the lines and take down any kind of expression that isn't the expression that they allow.
Wow. Very, very potent there, Sam. Okay. Trying to be really ginger and gentle with my internet here.
It's
only
usually my computer. This is great.
I know. But I'm experiencing a little technical difficulty. But Sam, like you said just a few minutes ago, I think it would be an excellent idea for us to segue into your science news. Sam's Science.
Here we go, friends, and we are going to... Where we have a really strange science news today. All of you like when I go into outer space, you like the outer space science? Outer space science you get. Now I have to do a reload myself. Do you know there is a whale shape? Forget the man on the moon. We all like the man on the moon that we talk about. Again, everyone knows, don't you? You look up to the heavens, it looks... It looks as though there's the face of a man on the moon as I cough to death doing my own report. This is Daily Mail. Forget the man in the moon. Pluto has a whale. Map of dwarf planet reveals odd shape on the surface and a mysterious donut. It's way out there. And I'm going to call it a planet because I believe it is a planet for reasons I've gone over prior. The planet is way out there. Many people don't know this, but if you take... Neptune and Pluto, they do this while they're going around. One goes around the other. So sometimes Neptune actually is the furthest planet. A lot of people don't know that they switch through each other. Well, we have a satellite on the way there, and I should say an explorer on the way there. And this is what we've seen thus far, friends, on our news from the science front. It may be a blotchy, sandy-colored blur, but the image below is the best map that we currently have of the distant surface of Pluto. And again, at the Daily Mail, you'll see it. It's really interesting. The map stitched together from images taken by the New Horizons space probe as it makes its journey towards the dwarf planet. And it reveals the intriguing markings on the strange world in detail. Scientists, it says, have informally named the elongated dark patches around the equator of Pluto as the whale due to its shape, and they also identified a bright donut shape. And again, there's no other way to put it. That is exactly what it looks like. The 1,860 mile, that's 3,000 kilometer long whale, is one of the longest regions on Pluto, yet to be photographed by New Horizons. Further around the equator on the opposite side are 4 more mysterious black alien spots that have excited and baffled astronomers around the world. Researchers have now also created a Google Earth overlay to allow would-be explorers to navigate their way across the dwarf planet's features for themselves. Do you understand what that means, friends? Did you enjoy looking? You could look at the pictures from Mars and look at the Earth from Mars and zoom in on certain things on Mars for a while. We did reports here on some of the very strange findings that were not addressed by the authorities and those in the know, but people found them themselves. It's going to happen again with Pluto. Pluto, way out there. The New Horizons is due to give scientists a close-up look at the surface of Pluto and its complex patterns. That's going to happen when it flies by the planet at just 7,750 miles away. That's the 14th. It's going to happen in mere days, friends. It says it will be the first spacecraft to visit the mysterious and frozen world, at least from our planet, which orbits nearly 3.7 billion miles from the sun. It says John Spencer, deputy leader of the New Horizons Genealogy, Geophysics, and Imaging team, and a researcher for the Southwest Research Institute in Boulder, has said that they are eagerly awaiting a closer look at the strange features on Pluto's surface. He said, "We're at the man on the moon stage when it comes to viewing Pluto." So, You got to look it up. It tells you how they put the images together and how they've put them into one cohesive picture. It says it's easy to imagine we're seeing similar shapes in this bizarre collection of light and dark figures. However, it's too early to know what these features really are. The map of Pluto was created by images taken from the 27th of June to the 3rd of July by a long-range reconnaissance imager. Says these were combined with low-resolution color data from the spacecraft's Ralph instrument. And the entire map corresponds to the side of Pluto that will be seen by New Horizons during its closest encounter with the planet. So, whatever you do, friends, go look this up. It says around the whale's tail is a 200-mile wide, bright donut shape that bears some similarities to impact craters and volcanoes on other planets and moons in the solar system. Now, when I say volcanoes, D-Lake, does that say potential bacterial life to you? No, friends, it is not Sam out here waking up and telling you, hey, I think there's little green men on Pluto. But when you hear volcano, D-Lake, what do you think?
I think Vulcans.
That could be the Vulcans are there. But there could be bacterial life on Pluto if there's volcanoes. So that's your news from the science front. What do you think, D? Like, I was very excited when I seen that. That was I was more excited about that than the whale.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and the NASA's Horizons is supposed to be there this month, July 2015. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it'll be there in like 3 days.
Wow. Well, great. I can't wait to see what they send back. Hopefully, they won't turn off the cameras or black it out when something mysterious flies by, right?
I'm also kind of hoping that they take Hillary back.
Oh yeah, that'd be excellent.
Because that is one cold bitch. Never mind. Oh no, wait, it's not my show. One cold bitch.
That's one place. That's one place she could get. She could be elected the leader. That's hilarious, Sam. As I continue to try to navigate my stupid internet today.
Oh no.
Let's move into a little bit of entertainment news, Sam.
All right. Well, before we do, real quick, I do want to get to this because you were talking about the race-off. We'll be talking about Hillary. Listen to this. This is Kurt Nemo Prison Planet. Before we do the entertainment, work program proposed by Bernie Sanders will create unemployment. It says Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders has proposed a massive government program to address unemployment, which he states is at 10.5%. It's actually at 23.1%. And there's a link on this stuff from Nemo's article. Prove it. Teaming up with Michigan Democrat Representative John Conyers, Sanders, who is a proud socialist, introduced the Employ Young Americans Now Act at the Hope Project in Washington. It sounds like a good idea, and we'll show you quickly why it falls apart. If enacted, it says, the legislation will provide $5.5 billion in financing to hire 1 million young people in both summer jobs and year-end round work, while at the same time offering job training and skills to hundreds of thousands of people in the same age bracket, according to Alternet. The proposed bill will undoubtedly draw more Democrats to the Sanders camp as the unabashed socialist prepares to challenge deep insider Hillary Clinton for the Democrat presidential nomination. However, if passed, the legislation will actually destroy jobs, D-Lake, not create them. A sprawling multi-million-dollar jobs program will require additional taxes, which are going to be extracted from the private sector, that is you and I, and will ultimately result in more unemployment. Even though programs may create jobs for some workers, the resources to pay for the programs must be extracted from the private sector, writes Thomas J. DiLorenzo. Taxing the private sector reduces its ability to create jobs. So at best, government job programs can only alter composition for unemployment, not total volume. Employment, not total volume. More government jobs are created, but at the expense of fewer private sector jobs. DiLorenzo and others, it goes on, note that massive unemployment programs initiated by FDR back in the Great Depression did nothing to stem unemployment and, in fact, increased it. The unemployment rate was higher in 1939 Despite millions of Americans enrolled in public works government jobs by the Roosevelt administration, then in 31 the Federal Reserve engineered depression, and it completely unfolded exactly the way everyone knew it would. Socialism led to the Great Depression, and now we got Bernie Sanders trying to bring us another one. It says the economy and unemployment did not rebuild until the Second World War, when the government instituted sharp reductions in spending and taxes. What do you know, D-Link? Bringing down spending and taxes got more people employed. Economic policies of the time created the golden age of capitalism, and that lasted from 45 to the early 70s. So, of course, when I was born, it stopped. Economic reality is perpetually lost on liberals and Democrats. One wonders why facts and history matter so little to the leftists. The answer is socialism is not so much a valid economic system as it is simple criminality, writes Deming. Josh Duckett writes that while Sanders' ambitions may be benevolent, his methods are questionable at best. The creation of new federal job programs will do nothing but take capital out of the productive area of the economy by taxing the private sector in order to fund the unproductive area of the economy, that is the public sector. This is even without accounting for additional dollars unnecessarily lost in the bureaucracy. And again, we know this. Every dollar that the government spends, they have to pay people to allocate how it's spent. And what you do is you end up spending way more money than anyone's actually earning from the government bringing this in. I have no problem with states implementing something if states vote to do that. That's actually the way the country is supposed to work. This top-down idea, it's how Hitler got people back to work. So think, people. It's not the way to go.
Yeah. Donald Trump said he'd be the greatest jobs creator that God ever created in America, and he'd bring jobs back to America. I think that's
the thing I support him on. Yeah.
I think that's refreshing talk. And he straight out said Hillary is not going to create jobs. Okay. Jeb Bush is not going to create jobs. He's going to be God's gift to job creation in America. He's going to bring the jobs back from China and Mexico. Huh?
I have to give him that one. He might be able to do that. I worry a little bit about what Ron Paul said, though, is if you run the country too much like a government or like a business, then the business of government gets in the way. But as long as he doesn't make that mistake, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, though. I agree with you on that. I mean, look, I'm going to support it. If he starts trotting out Oprah Winfrey, which I don't think will happen, what you were saying earlier, then I might have to reconsider my position. But for now, feeling pretty good about it. I like his aggressive. I like the way that he's sort of a no-nonsense person. I'm still real interested to see how Rand's going to do. Not really caring so much about Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, those guys, but my friend said, watch, Jeb Bush is going to get crushed. I can't wait to see that happen. I really don't want it. I mean, if it comes down to Clinton Bush in 2016, I mean, I'm going to go live with the whale on Pluto, Sam. Okay.
That might be the best. That might be the best idea, actually.
I'm going to illegally immigrate to Mexico, Sam. We'll see how that works out for me. We'll see what happens.
I hear the tap water is amazing.
Yeah, can't wait for that. Montezuma's revenge, right? I think now would be a good time to get to that Morrissey article that you were talking about earlier, Sam. I want to hear more about that.
No, again, I'm not, politically speaking, Morrissey's kind of a leftist nut. He thinks everybody should be vegan and nobody should wear fur. However, the man is almost so painfully right about his assessment of music here that it almost goes beyond saying the man is so right. When you hear this, you're going to fall over. We know that we live in a world where real music of any kind cannot get anywhere. What you've got is people with no talent. Yes, I said no talent, like Katy Perry and these garbage Beyonce BS. Well, listen to this. It says, you got to hand it to Morrissey. This is from consequenceofsound.net. After all these years, the Smith frontman / curmudgeon, and I don't think he really is still reliably miserable about the most random things. Well, I don't think this is random. I think it matters. I think it's the death of art in the world. It said, now, I don't like the way this author wrote. Now it would appear that the UK sensations Ed Sheeran, who sucks, and Sam Smith, who sucks even more, are on his shit list, as they should be, because they suck. Maybe they're just two people that can't stand hearing on the. Maybe they're just two people that he can't stand hearing on the loudspeaker while he shops for cucumber or avocado sushi. Again, making stabs at it. But listen how right he is. He wrote, "There are no bands or singers who become successful without overwhelming marketing. There are no surprise success stories." Think about that, friends. Everything is stringently controlled, obvious, and predictable, and has exactly the same content. Yo booty, got money, yo booty, yeah. Illuminati, in the club. So we are now in an era of marketed pop stars, which means that the labels fully control the charts, and consequently, the public has lost interest. It's very rare that a record label does something for the good of music. Thus, we are force-fed such as Ed Sheeran and Sam Smith, which at least means that things can't possibly get any worse. It is sad, though. There is no spontaneity now, and it seems almost to be unsalvageable. And you know what? I agree. I agree in almost every possible way. And I've mentioned this on one of my shows before. Did you notice? I don't think anybody has. We don't have any musicians anymore. There's no. You can name a bunch of singers, but name me a musician that is really setting the stage on fire right now. And the reason that is interesting is
wait a second. Kanye West said he was the greatest rock and roller of all times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But think about this. You can go all the way back to Mozart if you want to. You had Eddie Van Halen in the 80s. You had Tom Morello and Dimebag in the 90s. You had Cab Calloway and Glenn Miller and all kinds of people in the 20s, 30s, 40s, Hendrix, Zepp, whatever. You have no hotshot musician on the scene today, and there has not been a hotshot musician who has had any luck with music for over a decade. Don't give me the Black Keys. I love the Black Keys. They are not great musicians. We don't have.
What are you, a mind reader? That's what I was thinking of. I like those guys.
I like those guys too, but they're not trailblazing with this amazing style and this force. We don't have any musicians anymore. We have people that sing auto-tune about how much money they've got. We have a few singers with talent, but we don't have any musicians on the top of the charts. Most of the musicians are underground or something like Volbeat or something, but they're not on the top 10. They're not being played anywhere. We don't have any musicians anymore. No new musicians.
I don't know, Sam. You're starting to sound like Dustin Hoffman this past week and all these directors in their 60s that are saying that Hollywood is dead and it's no good anymore. And
maybe
when they did it, it was the best, but now it sucks.
But see, that's not what it is. I don't believe that. I don't believe that there isn't good music today, and I don't want people listening, viewers. That's not what I'm saying. Again, I mentioned Volbeat. I would say Five Finger Death Punch. I like Skrillex, but he's more of a producer. My point being, I like a lot of music that has just come out. No problem with it at all. Absolutely love it. It's not getting on the radio. I don't want Eddie Van Halen to be trailblazing in 2015. What I'm saying is, who is today's Eddie Van Halen? I'm saying the opposite of what Dustin Hoffman and them were saying. I want that new guy, that new great horn player, that new great bass player, that new rock star. I want that new musician that is trailblazing things like Tom Morello did from Rage Against the Machine 20 years ago. Where is that guy today? I'm not saying that new music sucks. I'm saying I want new music. Where is he? She. In this day and age, we may not even know. He, she. Where is the he, she? There isn't one, and that's what troubles me.
Yeah, I mean, it would be awesome and amazing if the next super musician that was so great at their instrument or multiple instruments, even like Beck. But I mean, Beck has been in the industry for 20 years, you know?
Yeah. Where's today's Beck? I'm the opposite of most older people. I want today's Beck. I'm dying for him.
Well, Sam, we have quite a few viewers right now, and you're on a roll. If you'll allow me to step away for a minute, I want you to just really solidify this point and hit it home. The floor is yours.
Thank you. friends, go ahead and segment it out. Tell your friends. Say, hey. They're gonna say, "Oh man, you're old. You want to listen to music that was 20, 30, 40 years old. You're out of touch. You don't know anything about music." No. What you're saying is you want the new generation, and you're not getting it. You're getting Katy Perry. You're getting Disney Channel singers that are now supposed to be sold to you as pop stars. You're getting Justin Bieber. You're getting One Direction. You're getting Beyonce. She sounds like Tarzan. Listen to Drunken Love and think Tarzan. That is not singing. But beyond that, why can't Beyonce have an amazing screaming guitarist? Maybe you're a huge Beyonce fan. Great. Name me her guitarist. No, absolutely no idea. Who's Katy Perry's bassist? Does it, even more, do you even care? That's what I'm saying. Give me the musicians. I don't care if I even like the musician. If he's really, really good. Where is it? It's not happening in jazz. It's not happening in rock. It's not happening in rap. It's not happening in metal. To some degree, there are new celebrities in each genre. You can point to new metal bands that are great. And they're on the radio when? 2 in the morning, if ever. You mean where are our jazz pianists stepping up? Where is that? I wasn't a Kenny G fan. I was not a Kenny G fan. Probably look at me and figure that out for yourself. But the man knew how to play the horn, and he was all over the place. Where's today's Kenny G? It doesn't have to be headbanging. Where is he? There isn't one. And that is a huge problem. And I'll tell you why. Because when a country starts to lose its art and its identity, it starts to lose its creativity. It starts to lose its individuality. And then that splinters off into a million other problems in a myriad of directions. But think about it. This isn't somebody, and I'm 42, this isn't some 42-year-old saying that the best music is behind us and that we all need to go back listening to our cassette tapes only. What I'm saying is, where is the new hotshot musician? For that matter, where's somebody even 40 or 50 that may have gotten overlooked that got a record deal and steps up today? That used to happen all the time. Doesn't happen anymore. Where did that go? I'll tell you where it went. They quit teaching music in school. They quit teaching individuality in school. Everything became about marketing. And what they did is exactly what Morrissey said and factored it right out.
Sam, you need to go lick some donuts and spit on them and say you hate America.
Again, who's who drummer? No one knows. It worries me, D-Lake. It worries me.
All right, great. Excellent, Sam. In my entertainment news today, well, I have a couple things. One, today is 7-Eleven. It's 7-Eleven day, everybody. Don't forget to go to your local 7-Eleven and get a free Slurpee. It's happening.
Aha.
At participating 7-Elevens. And also, this weekend is San Diego Comic-Con weekend. I, unfortunately, am not there. I didn't get my tickets months in advance. You have to buy the tickets so early now. It's so popular now.
Really?
There's so much awesome stuff that happens there. This year, one of the big things, of course, is the new Star Wars movie that's coming out at the end of this year. Batman versus Superman.
I thought it was the end of the summer. I was so upset.
No, it's coming out around Christmas time. But I mean, and I was just talking with my coworker yesterday about we are living vicariously through others on Facebook with all the cosplay pictures, all the new stuff coming out. Like they were saying in Hall H, which is the big famous hall where they introduce a lot of cool, awesome stuff behind the scenes, usually have the actors there. And they were going to show like a new trailer for the Batman vs. Superman. And because we've gotten to the stage where everyone's got Periscope and cell phones and freaking Google Glass or whatever the hell they have, that things will leak so fast that it prompts the actual studio to just put it out on the internet so that they're the ones that get it out instead of someone leaking it, you know, with poor quality. They want the high res awesomeness to come out. I saw a bunch of pictures of the new Ant-Man that's coming out soon that is looking better and better from the pictures to me. I think that's going to do well for Marvel Studios. Like I said, I can't wait for Batman vs. Superman. Some of the costumes and stuff, Wonder Woman's costume, Batman's armor, stuff like that. That's kind of the stuff that I'm into, man. Those Dark Knight comic books by Frank Miller, Klaus Janson, Lynn Varney back in the days, they were awesome and amazing. And if you're a fan of that like I am, he's doing a third installment of the Dark Knight series, Frank Miller is, and he's working with Klaus Janson again. Now, the second edition was kind of crappy. And if anyone knows what I'm talking about, leave in the comments that you probably agree with me that the artwork was not up to the standard of the first one. But I think that this next one will be really good. And something that I actually asked a question on Schmoes Know with Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis about, is Frank Miller making any money off of the Batman vs. Superman movie, or say the Daredevil on Netflix? Because that movie and that show are using like all the elements of his stories and characters that he created and came up with. I mean, he owns Elektra, or he created Elektra. I don't know if he still owns the character, but she's going to be on the Daredevil season 2. John Blumenthal, what's that guy's name? The guy that was, no, I think I have that wrong, but the guy that was on The Walking Dead, John something, he's going to be the Punisher. And the chick, the Asian chick that was in the G.I. Joe movie, was fighting with Snake Eyes, she's pretty badass. She's going to be Elektra. I don't know if she's Asian all the way, but anyways, I don't know. I have high hopes for season 2 of Daredevil on Netflix. The new Jessica Jones is coming out soon. They already have a guy cast to be Luke Cage, who's Power Man, who eventually teams up with Iron Fist, if you're familiar with Heroes for Hire. I mean, I just have a wealth of information about this. I should be at the Comic-Con talking about this. Again, I'm not. I'm living vicariously through other people on Facebook. But I can't wait for – it's just such an awesome weekend because all the awesome trailers are coming out. There's a new Goosebumps movie, if you're familiar with that show, starring Jack Black, where they open up the books. It's kind of like Jumanji, where they open up a book and the abominable snowman comes out. All the monsters and creatures come out. That looks pretty exciting. What else is there? I don't know. There's just so much. So much, man. Oh, World of Warcraft looks like it's going to be.
Really?
Yeah, man. They got the giant orcs and stuff. That looks like it's going to be exciting.
I hadn't thought of it till just now, but I can't believe they haven't already done that.
Oh, it's been in the works for It's been in the works for years, and people are really waiting for that one. What would you say? A video game to movie adaptation that just really solidifies that video games can be turned into movies. I mean, if you want to say Super Mario Brothers was the epitome of a video game getting turned into a movie, then go ahead and fucking say it. But most people say that is not so. But World of Warcraft looks like it could be the one. They're also working on Assassin's Creed with Magneto, or the actor that played Magneto. He's such a great actor whose name is just not on the tip of my tongue, but you know who I'm talking about. The first class Magneto, the young Magneto.
Didn't see it. I'd like to see it.
He's been in other movies. I'm sure you know who that guy is. Fassbender. Michael Fassbender. Fassbender. Yeah, that guy's a good actor, man. I think he's good. Hugh Jackman says he's going to put down the claws and not play Wolverine anymore. And on Conan O'Brien, they had people's auditions for who was going to play Wolverine next. And definitely just go on YouTube and look that up. It's great. It's funny stuff. Betty White's on there.
I love her.
That funny guy from Parks and Recreation's on there. Some other funny people. I would recommend you check that out. Look for that. Sam, where can people find us?
Oh, well, thankfully, real quick, we are still alive, so I'm going to end with this. Roger Rees, stage actor made famous by Nicholas Nickleby, dies at 71. He was the actor who rocketed to fame in life adventures of Nicholas Nickleby, obviously. which was an obscure novel by Charles Dickens. He also worked as in Broadway on the musical The Visit, and a lot of people knew him from Cheers, which was where I knew him from.
Wait a second. Who are we talking about?
Roger Rees, an actor, and unfortunately, he's no longer with us. In his mid-30s, he became the role of a lifetime. He appeared in a movie version of director Peter Bogdanovich's Bob Fosse's film Star 80. He was born in 1944, and again, he was in the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Mm-hmm.
And pictures of him here back in the day. And
oh, here he is on Cheers. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
Unfortunately, I had to. Let me see that screen share again. I had to say adios to the man.
Here he is. He was in the Addams Family when he was young. Robin Hood as a husband.
It was Addams Family, really? Where is that?
Wait a second, husband. Was he in a gay marriage?
That I did not know. He might be. I closed the tab, but yeah, go D-Lake. We got 5. We got some viewers still here. D-Lake. Was he gay? Actually, not that we care. But again, everybody else is going to care, I guess. But
there he is with his husband. Attractive gentleman.
There you go. And see, there's somebody that was gay that wasn't, I don't think, ramming it down everybody else's throat.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well. Yeah, talented actor, attractive older gentleman, and he just recently passed away. And our condolences to him and his family.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. There he is. He was on Cheers. Remember that?
There you go. Raise a glass. Raise a glass, listeners. Raise it. I got my glass. Cheers. There's even some 151 in it. Cheer.
Dink. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, a lot of 151 in it.
Wait, I was on screen share. Can we see you take another shot, Sam?
Nah, here we go. It's 151 in red fuel.
I don't know if this is illegal on Google, but there he goes.
Oh, yeah. Friends, you can find us at The Correct Views. Where you can find me at thecorrectviews@hotmail.com. You can go to youtube.com/thecorrectviews. I have Media Speaks and Correct Views on Tumblr. You can also check out the work. You can find us at themediaspeaks.com. There's articles up. We don't write as much as we used to. We tend to do video more prudent, a little bit quicker. But you guys let us know you want articles. We'll give you articles. Say, hey, I want an article. If you leave that in the comment line, D-Like, and I'll write an article. We will. If not, we won't. I got videos up all the time. Share them. Let people know about them. If you heard a point we made, make it. If you watched our video and you hated us, good. Go make a better video. Do something, because if not, everything's going right down the hole, friends. It really is.
Right. Well, just like my man Trump knows, good publicity, bad publicity, it's all publicity. I'm David Lake, D-Lake for Prez. You can find me on YouTube at David Lake. I'm the guy with the Captain America shield. Check out some of my awesome videos on there. I mean, I have tons, hours of videos. I mean, you can spend all week watching all my videos if you really want to. See the progression of my beard grow and my hair and stuff. I mean, that's exciting, isn't it? Because I'm probably going to get a haircut soon, so you never know. And also check out our work on themediaspeaks.com. See some of our featured stuff on InfoWars out there. I mean, we could be working at InfoWars in a couple of weeks. You never know.
Maybe we've got videos in.
Yeah, check out last week's show, which was awesome and amazing when we were joined by Anthony Court. That was a good one. Make sure you check out the work of Kyle Phillips, Anthony Court, Sam Ibitiganji, myself, David Lake. And we look forward to seeing you here again next week for another awesome show. Live. Again, the show is live. So, if someone has to take a bathroom break, that's just what happens.
You better shake it more than twice, you're playing with it. And if you're not shaking it at least twice, you're peeing on yourself.
Right.
Pour juice on your chin.